Do you think wealth comes only from being born rich, marrying a millionaire, or winning the lottery? Well, let's leave fairy tales to Disney because here on the Duchess Dollars channel, wealth is a science. And today, I'm giving you the golden elixir of success. 7 books that will transform your broke mindset into a money-making machine. No excuses, darling. If I, who woke up at 10 a.m. and needed a $25 artisanal coffee just to start thinking, could figure this out, so can you. Do you know what these books have in common? They'll teach you not just about money, but about power. It's the difference between being the heroine of your own story or just an extra in someone else's life movie. And before you ask, Duchess, what do you know about the struggle for wealth? Honey, I know everything. I once heard my manicurist quoting Nietzsche to explain why she charges more for gel nails. That's the kind of mindset you need to develop. But let's get real. These books will transform you. But are you ready to leave behind the old version of yourself that splits the bill on the first date? They'll teach you not just how to make money, but also how to stop wasting it on guys driving economy cars. Can you believe people still put up with that in 2025? I didn't know whether to laugh or cry, so I decided to laugh. On my private jet, of course. And now, a challenge. Will you stay on the team that thinks self-confidence is enough, or are you finally ready to learn the secret codes of wealth? In the first pinned comment, I've left links to products for rich people. Go check them out, and then come back to thank me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon because, without my lessons, you risk taking financial advice from people still paying off clothes from Walmart. God forbid, but good luck to them. 1. A rich mindset is the new little black dress. Let's start with the basics, but don't confuse basic with cheap because a wealth mindset is essential. Think of the book Mindset by Carol S. Dweck as your emotional Hermes bag. Seemingly simple but transformational. The main idea here is to understand how your mindset defines who you are. Have you ever noticed how some people tackle challenges like they're strutting down Paris Fashion Week, while others can barely leave their emotional Walmart? That's because those with a growth mindset see problems as opportunities. Meanwhile, those with a fixed mindset, well, they're probably wasting energy complaining that the champagne ran out at brunch. But what's the trick? The science behind this is legit, darling. Studies from Stanford University show that people with a growth mindset tend to seek solutions rather than excuses. This means that instead of whining about not being born rich, you can learn to make money look effortless, even if you're still splitting an Uber in the beginning. This book won't just change the way you see challenges, but will also teach you that failure is just a pit stop on your journey to success, or to life's VIP section. The power of habit. From hotel coffee to jet-set lattes. Did you know that 40% of the decisions you make daily aren't really decisions? They're habits. The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg will show you how to turn the dullest routines into a golden cycle. Take me, for example. I used to think waking up before 10 a.m. was impossible. But once I realized that waking up earlier meant more time to spend Mr. Moneybag's fortune, I changed my pattern. Now I get up at 9:30 a.m. without complaining. That's what it's about, reprogramming your brain to work for you, not the other way around. But here's the catch. Bad habits are like guys who wear Crocs. Easy to pick up, but hard to let go of. Studies from MIT show that any habit can be changed if you understand the trigger, routine, and reward. So, swapping that instant coffee for an artisanal latte isn't just an indulgence. It's a metaphor for transforming your entire life. Bottom line, read the book, break your poor habits, and start building a life where spending $25 on coffee isn't absurd. It's a lifestyle statement. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Between Success and Shame. Robert Kiyosaki wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad as a love letter to capitalism and common sense. This book is perfect for anyone who still thinks security is the path to wealth. Spoiler, it's not. Here's the thing. The education system is great at producing employees. It doesn't teach you about assets, liabilities, or how to avoid falling into the trap of consumerism. If you don't wake up, you'll spend your entire life making 12-month installment payments instead of investing in your future. But hold up. Before you think it's all about buying real estate like you'd buy shoes, Rich Dad, Poor Dad teaches something deeper, the concept of cash flow. In other words, while you're spending $300 on a dress, I'm already thinking about how that dress can pay for itself, perhaps as a costume for an online course that will net me $300,000. This is the book that will change how you see money. It'll sting a little at first, like wearing Louboutins for the first time, but the payoff is worth it. 4. Think and Grow Rich. Or Why You Need to Stop Thinking Like You're Shopping at Walmart. Napoleon Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich to show that wealth begins in the mind. But let's be clear, this isn't that fluffy law of attraction nonsense. It's not enough to visualize a private jet while you're still tolerating men who split the bill on a first date. This is about strategy, focus, and a burning desire. And no, I'm not talking about the desire for new shoes, though that's always a bonus. Hill interviewed 500 millionaires and found a pattern. Wealth doesn't come from just hard work. It comes from the ability to visualize goals and treat failure like counterfeit shoes. Utterly unacceptable. This book isn't about positive thinking. It's about having such a clear plan that your bank account feels obligated to follow along. Thinking big is scary. Most people prefer the comfort zone, also known as the illusion of financial security. It's like settling for an economy car because at least it gets me from A to B. Sure, honey, but what kind of life is that without the C for comfort? The stats don't lie. A study from the University of Scranton found that 92% of people never achieve their New Year's resolutions. Why? Because they don't think specifically. Hill argues that you need to know exactly what you want, with details worthy of a stylist's mood board. Want $1 million? Great, but how will you get there? Selling courses? Investing? Or simply persuading your husband to add more zeros to your allowance? And the secret? Hill introduces the concept of the mastermind, which is essentially surrounding yourself with wealthy or intelligent people who can influence you. I, of course, call it dining with visionaries. Who's in your mastermind? If it's friends who still buy fake bags, it might be time to update the group. Think and Grow Rich isn't just a book. It's a manual for escaping mental mediocrity and embracing opulence. After all, thinking small costs the same as thinking big. So why are you still dreaming of a financed home when you could be dreaming of a villa in Italy? Conclusion? Read it, apply it, and please, stop splitting the bill. Nobody gets rich with a pooling money mindset. 5. The Secret Code of Wealth. The manual for those tired of being spiritually poor. Jean-Guy Denis left the stability of a public service career to become a billionaire. And you know what? He was right. Because stability is only appealing when we're talking about private jet flights. In The Secret Code of Wealth, Denis presents the keys to open doors most people don't even realize exist. He decided his life wouldn't be limited by the ceiling of a government job. And let's be honest. Who in their right mind trades the possibility of becoming a billionaire for a fixed salary? This book teaches that wealth begins with a decision. It sounds simple, but that's precisely where the magic lies. Most people don't decide anything. They just go with the flow, like someone settling for reheated coffee in a plastic cup. Deciding to change your life is terrifying. It's like wearing high heels for the first time. You know it'll hurt, but you also know it's essential for the impact you want to make. A Harvard University study showed that people who set clear goals are 10 times more likely to succeed than those who simply hope for the best. The problem? Only 3% of people actually write down those goals. Guess which group you want to be in? Denis highlights a powerful key: financial education. It's almost insulting that in 2025, there are still people who confuse investing with saving money in a bank account. Darling, that's as outdated as thinking splitting the bill is normal. If you still don't know the difference between assets and liabilities, you're just one step away from remaining in the emotional economy class. What's the solution? This book is like a personal trainer for your financial mind. It teaches you how to reprogram limiting beliefs and seek alternatives beyond the obvious. Want an example? While everyone else is focused on cutting cappuccinos to save money, the wealthy are figuring out how to turn cappuccinos into a global brand. That multiplication mindset is what makes all the difference. And of course, let's not forget that Denis is living proof that taking risks pays off, as long as it's a calculated risk, not a shot in the dark. Trading comfort for uncertainty might seem terrifying, but as he demonstrates, that's exactly what gets you to the top. Conclusion: read The Secret Code of Wealth, because the greatest poverty is mental poverty. And for the love of Chanel, stop believing that the secret is just luck. The real secret is having strategy, focus, and obviously never settling for less than you deserve, in life, in business, or on dates. 6. What the rich know and don't tell. Because they know but they're not telling. Have you ever noticed how the rich have an annoyingly mysterious way of making money look easy? What the rich know and don't tell is basically a spy infiltrating their world, spilling secrets millionaires would rather keep locked away, right next to their family jewels. Here's what I discovered. The formula for financial success isn't just about knowing how to sell, it's about selling with style. Think Coco Chanel. She didn't just sell clothes, she sold a revolution, a status symbol. This book isn't just about sales. It's about turning anything, even a latte, into $1 million experience. But here's the conflict. Sales still have a terrible reputation, seen as desperate or pushy. That's why so many people never learn to do it right. They think selling is about shoving something unwanted down someone's throat. Surprise! People buy when they feel they're buying a solution, not a product. Want an example? Hermes sells bags, but what you're buying is exclusivity, status, and an invitation to the invisible club of the rich and powerful. And if you think you'll never need to sell anything, here's the truth. We're all selling all the time. Whether it's convincing someone to invest in your business or persuading your boyfriend to trade his economy car for something worthy of dinner at Cipriani, sales are unavoidable. The stats prove it. A Salesforce study found that 78% of consumers buy from brands that offer personalized experiences. Selling isn't just about talking. It's about connecting, understanding, and offering something the customer didn't even know they needed. I call it the art of luxurious selling. How does this apply to you? This book helps you realize that selling isn't manipulation. It's creating value. It also teaches you that you can sell anything. Your business idea, your resume, or even why you deserve that promotion. But do it like a true lady of luxury, with confidence, elegance, and of course, a touch of exclusivity. What should you do? Read this book. Learn to sell. And for heaven's sake, stop thinking of selling as a dirty word. What's dirty is splitting the bill. What's dirty is living a life where you accept what you're given instead of fighting for what you deserve. Conclusion? What the rich know and don't tell isn't just a manual. It's your passport to a life where you no longer have to settle for crumbs. And honestly, the only place crumbs are acceptable is on the crust of a croissant served with champagne. 7. The 16 Laws of Success, the Poor's Penal Code, and the Wealthy's Constitution. If Think and Grow Rich is the little black dress of your mental collection, the 16 Laws of Success is the structured blazer that turns any outfit into a power statement. Napoleon Hill lays out a detailed roadmap to escape mediocrity and reach the top. And let's be honest, it's a destination that suits you perfectly. Hill understood that success isn't random. It's the result of consistent practices. He interviewed tycoons like Henry Ford and Thomas Edison and discovered they all followed clear, nearly universal principles. The book gets straight to the point. Success is a science, not a miracle. Applying these laws isn't as glamorous as it sounds. It requires discipline. And let's admit it, discipline doesn't always align with our Monday is the new Friday lifestyle. But Hill's method is so clear that even those who prefer spa afternoons can fit it into their routine. Take, for example, the law of initiative and leadership. Translation: you need to take charge of your life. No waiting for a rich boyfriend to save you. He can be a bonus, but you're the protagonist. Another key law is going the extra mile. It sounds simple, but few people realize it's what separates leaders from followers. A study from the Carnegie Institute of Technology revealed that 85% of financial success depends on human skills, like leadership, communication, and attitude, while only 15% is related to technical knowledge. This proves that more than degrees, it's how you position yourself that defines your place in the world. So what should you do? Start small, but start now. The 16 laws are practical, but they demand consistency. Read the book, pick one law a week, and apply it to your life. Need an example? Apply the law of self-confidence. Walk like you've inherited an empire, even if, for now, you're still building it. And the result? These laws don't just transform your mindset, they transform your actions. And when you combine those two elements, you become a magnet for opportunities and for everything that sparkles, be it gold or diamonds. Now that you've uncovered the 7 books with the power to transform your mind and your bank account into something worthy of a wealthy madame, the question is, are you really ready to put all this into action? Because here's the secret no one likes to admit. Knowing is one thing, doing is another. You can have the best books in the world on your shelf, But if you don't have the courage to leave your comfort zone or upgrade that sofa that's crying out for a replacement, nothing will change. And speaking of courage, have you ever stopped to ask yourself what's really holding you back? Is it fear of failure? Laziness to start? Or do you still believe wealth is about luck, not strategy? Well, in the video, the best money advice to become a rich woman, you'll hear today, you'll find the answers to these questions, and maybe a few more you didn't know you should be asking. Here's a quick recap. The 7 books you've discovered today are an invitation to a new version of yourself, one that doesn't settle for crumbs and has a clear plan to make money work for her. We've covered mindset, habits, the codes of wealth, and practical strategies for selling and leading like a true queen. Also, you can stop surviving and start living in grand style. To make your journey easier, I've linked all the recommended books in the first pinned comment. You'll also find links to luxury products that perfectly match the lifestyle you're building. Before you go, drop a comment saying, "I was born to be rich," if you enjoyed the video and want to embrace this new version of yourself. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like, because powerful information like this deserves to be shared. Don't you agree? Now head to the next video. It's the perfect complement to everything we've discussed here. You know what to do, or are you still waiting for a sign?